All right, YouTube. So I wanted to get on the Basio Builds Wealth channel and talk to you guys about something I've been investing in pretty heavily lately. Something that I feel like is going to be a long-term investment. Maybe it's like a few years that I hold it. That's long-term to me. Long-term to me is not my entire life, and then when I can barely walk, then I'll start enjoying the wealth I've been building. For me, it's long-term, maybe a few years. Maybe it grows into something substantial and we can move some of that money into real estate, which I prefer. But nonetheless, man, I've been really liking EV stocks, EV companies, electric vehicles. As you guys may know, I have a Tesla, and once I got into the Tesla ecosystem, it was a wrap. That's the future, and there's so much more to it that I feel like a lot of people who don't have a Tesla, or your conventional investors, and so to speak, they don't really understand what makes Tesla and EV companies so special, especially these new EV companies like the Neos, the Xpungs, the Lees, the Lis, or whatever, the Li Automotives. There's something special about them, and they all seem to have their own unique way of doing it. But regardless, I think that it's so early on with a lot of these companies that regardless, these companies are going to make serious money, gonna have serious growth in their stocks. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I mean. So Tesla, I've been investing in dollar cost averaging every single week into Tesla, and then whenever I see maybe like a dip on pricing, I'll buy some Tesla whenever I see dips. But it's been growing like crazy, and I think that if you would have put $1,000 into Tesla, or like $1,200, let me see, I'm gonna show you guys on my phone real quick. All right, so let's look at this. This is called the Ticker Time Machine. Let's go with Tesla. Let's put 2,000 just for fun. Go back in time. Let's see how much you would have made if last year you put 2 grand into Tesla. Look at that, you would have been up 479%, guys. $11,000, $1,200 if you would have put 2 grand. What if you would have put 12 grand into Tesla last year? Guys, that's crazy. So this is the power of companies like EVs that have so much growth potential. It's insane. And so like for me, I want to kind of take advantage of those things, of that idea, and I feel like there's so much room to grow. When you look at companies like Neo and Xpeng that are in China, look at this company Neo. This company is dope because the way they're doing things is they're doing battery swaps. So you can go in and swap your battery in like 30 minutes or less and have a brand new battery and just pay like a subscription in order to have fresh batteries all the time. And what's dope about that is that they're creating their own ecosystem. That's what makes Tesla so powerful. They have that supercharging ecosystem. They have data with all of these cars. Their autopilot system is insane, and they're constantly improving on it. They have billions of miles driven with that autopilot system. And not just that, but the insurance idea that they have, where they're going to offer their cars in-house car insurance, and it's going to be so efficient because they have so much data that their profit margins are going to probably be insane. Tesla's building their own factories. Their profit margins are insane already for a car, and then you tag in all the other things like the robot taxis is something they're planning on doing in the future. There's so much room for growth. They're only going on, I think, like their 4th factory here in the States. Just in the States, they have so much room for growth, and I think that a lot of investors that are kind of like thinking to themselves, why is Tesla growing so big? Why is it it's a fanboy thing? They just got a cult following. I don't think it's really that. It's just people who understand Tesla and the ecosystem that they've built understand the potential of growth. So people are buying it now because they're thinking 5 years ahead. 5 years from now, this is a company that's going to be worth trillions, right? That's what they're thinking. I don't see it that far off. If you notice, people have always kind of hated on Tesla, especially like your conventional investors and stuff. They beat the odds every year, every earnings report. It's insane. But now that Tesla's getting into China, they're about to release their Model Y in China. That's going to be huge. But like companies like Neo that got, this ecosystem, they're going about it a different way, but it's dope. And there's so much room for all these car companies to grow. This is a company that's going to focus, I think, in China. I believe they're looking at expanding into Europe and stuff, but they're really just getting started. They're building momentum now. They've released a couple cars. I think earnings is coming up tonight, actually. They're going to beat expected earnings. They're going to beat it without a doubt. The one thing about Neo is they don't build their own cars, is what I'm being told. But I think the reason why they're not building their own cars is because their timing to market is important in China, and they're not really worried about the profit margins right now. They're probably allocating a lot of money into R&D and a lot of money into this ecosystem here. To me, that's a great way to leverage other people's factories and focus on the ecosystem. Later on, you can start worrying about building your own factory. Where this company, Xpeng, Yo, that's a nice looking car. So they're releasing, this is a new car they're releasing, the P7, and it's already doing numbers. It's a cheaper version, a more affordable version, I should say, of pretty much the Tesla. They build their own cars, they have their own factory, they got the autopilot going on. What is 229,000 RMB? Let me see what that car retails for. 35 grand. So this car right here, to me, is the range is 434 miles, which is for a $35,000 car to have 434 miles of range. They're building their own car. It has autopilot. It's got like a Siri inside the car. Let's look at the interior. Look at the interior, guys. For 35 grand, guys, look at that. You're getting autopilot. I saw in some video that they actually go out with a Tesla and one of these new P7s. It's either NIO or XPeng that does this, and they let people compare the two, and that's how they sell their cars. It's impressive, man. Super long range smart sedan. Guys, this company is just getting started. As they start ramping up production, you're gonna tell me they're not gonna kill it? Let me say this too. Here's the thing as well. I've been to China a few times. China is, the government there, they want these EV cars more than any country. If you've been to any city in China, you see the smog, you see the air pollution. The Chinese government is really pushing for these companies to be successful. They're gonna help with building the charging station infrastructure, which is something that a lot of investors are worried about. To me, it's crazy to worry about that. China be building entire cities in less than a year. So if the Chinese government is backing it, there's no doubt in my mind they'll be able to catch up when it comes to charging stations and infrastructure. But then they're doing it in innovative ways where, look, I've been to China a few times and I can tell you that their public transportation, their fast trains, their trains are amazing. Like, you can travel anywhere at high speeds for a very affordable price. And so when I look at the way that China's infrastructure is set up in general, they don't really need cars that have 700-mile range, although they'll probably get them soon. But I'm not so worried about it right now. I think that with the incentives that Chinese government is giving for EV cars, let's see what that is. Look at this. So the revision now includes consumers who buy new electric vehicles through 2022, also contains provisions for tax exemptions on purchases for 2 years. The full plan will play out to cut subsidies by 20% in 2021 and 30% in 2022. Guys, you're going to tell me that EV in China is not going to explode. And China is going to be pushing this. They're going to be pushing these companies to be successful. And these companies are going to get so big and so good at what they do. You guys already know China's a beast at manufacturing and distribution. It's exciting things, especially since, let me see how many cars NIO has sold. NIO has sold 11,000 to 20,000 units as of June 2024. Look at this. So far in 2024, 10,000 cars. You're going to tell me that that's not going to grow to exponential numbers? Where is XPeng in? Look, XPeng, as of August 26th, they've sold 20,000 cars. Where's Tesla at? I'm assuming these are like worldwide numbers too. Tesla has sold, since the beginning of 2020, 318,000 vehicles. Guys, there are billions. There's so many people in China. If XPeng is selling a car at 35,000, what is the G3 selling for? Look at this, guys. Post subsidies. Let's see what the price is post subsidies. $23,000 US. And you can get into one of these XPeng amazing electric vehicles. Let's see how much NIO cars are. So NIOs are more competitive with the Tesla. Look, the Model X is 836,000 yuan. What is the ES8? What does that look like? And here's the thing, they're bringing out new models. I mean, you've seen the numbers of cars that they've sold, and that's probably with like one model. Now they're ramping up. They got new models coming out. Yeah, so the ES8 is their version of an SUV. 4.9 seconds. It's pretty quick. 580 kilometers with a 1,000 kilowatt hour battery pack. Look at the interior. Gorgeous. Gorgeous interior. Nomi, NIO Pilot, NIO Power. Yo, they're not playing. NIO's not playing. But I have a large position in both of these companies, and I have a small position in Li Automotive. And the only reason why I have a small position in Li Auto is because they're more like a hybrid idea, but I didn't realize how good their batteries are. I think they get some serious mileage even though they're hybrids, and they're growing. So I have a small position with them as well. All right, their website makes me want to have a smaller position, so I think I did good with that. Nah, I'm just playing. Anxiety does not exist. That's the thing. They're marketing how anxiety doesn't exist because you have a good battery, but you also have a backup with the motor, which is cool, but eventually that anxiety thing is not going to be a sales pitch anymore. They're going to have to really focus in on just EV because soon anxiety anxiety won't be an issue. And that's what I mean by anxiety is the anxiety you have when you're running low on battery. It is nice to have that backup battery, but either way, I got a small position with Li Automotive. Tesla, I got a large position in NIO and XPeng as well, and then Li with a little bit. I pretty much put most of my portfolio in these companies, and I got a little bit in like travel companies, some of the ones I think that'll do well in the next couple years. But yeah, in my opinion, man, I think that there's some serious potential here with these companies. If you got some free cash, you know, to put into EV, I would definitely do that. I'm more of an individual stocks guy or kind of like an M1 pie guy, but I only really like to invest in a few companies, 10 to 20 companies, and really put most of my resources into those after obviously studying them and getting an idea of what I'm getting into. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor, nothing like that. I'm just sharing with you guys what my thoughts are, what my strategies have been, and something that I've been kind of paying attention to and spending some time consuming. I'm an EV fan. Why not invest into it a little bit? You guys let me know what you guys thought about this video. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any other EV companies you're looking at or anything to add with what I kind of showed here. But I think that EV companies in China is going to be like, it's going to be so much growth. They're just getting started. Now's the time to get in if you want to. And I would dollar cost average if you have to. If you don't got a bunch of money, just dollar cost average into it. And what I mean by dollar cost average is just set up like a weekly deposit into that stock every single week or monthly, and just make that like a long-term thing for yourself and watch it grow. So anyways, I think that's it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on the next video on Basio Builds Wealth.